Good morning, Steve your Daily Shaver. This morning I'm shaving after the inspiration of David So Smooth, the Milano, in the Italian Barber. It smells delicious. And the 101 razor, because I just want a nice, smooth, relaxing shave and enjoy the aromatic scent from this one. Just using my best badger this morning, because I figured my badger wasn't getting some love. Now, when it comes to badgers, you automatically think silver tip, and I see Razor Rock or Italian Barber. I think they're one of the same actually, because I noticed they interchange tubs and probably bulk the ingredients. And anyway, they do a really nice badger now. Saw a review of it and it pretty much confirms what I thought. It's only about $70, which is a fraction of what a high-end one. This one's about $40, $30, $40. The high-end silver tip in the Parkers are about $80, $90. Personally, I think down a little bit, so you got a bit of stitching, but you know, that varies from person to person. You know, some people like a bit of backbone and some people just want that dead soft feeling. Behind me, you'll see I've got my flag back up for Eureka. Why? Well, what's freedom if you don't exercise it? For me, the sign of freedom in Australia is the Eureka flag. I'm definitely not a monarchist. I don't believe anybody should have the right to rule over you based on the birth canal they pop out of. So to my American friends, 1776 and all that, can I say cheers? We just haven't grown up enough to leave mummy's skirt just yet. The day will come. The general consensus is it won't be until the Queen's gone and we're left with Charlie. I remember, I think she was a medium psychic lady on television once. And it was when Charles came to power. It was when Charles got married, that's right. Because he hasn't come to power yet. And she said he'd never be king and that it'd be one of his boys. Now, personally, I don't put any stock in peeps and mutterers, but I did remember what was said, and I often wondered what will happen. Well, they'll be proved right, because that was a pretty big leap. I thought the Queen would have left by now, you know, just retired and, you know, left it to the son. Nah, she's going to be like a couple of popes ago. They're going to take that sceptre out of her cold, dead hands. Got a firm grip, that girl. But then again, this was the family that got us through the Second World War. Well, actually, I think a lot of other people did. But anyway, apparently we're supposed to be grateful. Do you know, technically in Australia and even in England, discussing leaving the Queen and getting rid of the royal family is still treason, and there's laws on the books. So how can you be a democracy and have laws on the books for treason? First pass was open cone, second pass was with the bar side, which makes the 101 my second favourite razor. And if you want a badger, the best badger, Parker, bang for buck, I think it's about the best, because I've got several badgers now, and mixed badgers and mixed with some ball. They've got a lot of stitch in them, take a while to break in. But now, this somehow, every time you hit a scent, it'll remind you of something or someone in your life. I don't know, this one, again, and that's the thing about these scents. They elicit memory responses, sometimes really good ones. For $5 US, you cannot beat the value of these guys. These are by far and away amazing shaving creams. Now, my favourite shaving cream is from Sterling, and it's the orange chili. There's like zero question in my mind, which begs the question, what happened to the pineapple one? Because it's not on their website, and I really, really wanted to try the pineapple one. I really want to try some pineapple. I have to get round to ordering samples of all their ones so I can try the rest. Then I'll just add the containers of the ones I like. Now, there's one thing I like, it's samples. I think samples are the best way to try an artisan and see if you like the scent of their soap and your face feel. Now, what I have been complimented on, and more than once recently, I may have mentioned this, but I'll mention it again, is the way my skin is looking. Traditionally, I've always had under here a lot of red rash. I suffer from burn. It always looks splotchy. You get lots of like, not even pimples, but you know, really rough skin down here from my old techniques of shaving. Since I've been using better shaving cream and good even razors that I can change and keep sharp instead of trying to eke out longer out of a $5 cartridge, my skin has improved out of sight. In fact, maybe that's what'll be the resurgence of wet shaving like this and good shaving creams from these artisans, is just the fact that us men have not been taking care of our skin with Kangoo and 5-bladed cartridge razors. This is the reason to wet shave. You know, it's just, I'll go back against the grain the other way and hit some of the trouble spots. Deep breath. So the Eureka flag. It's a sign that in 1776 we didn't do something you guys did. You know? First thing, you guys had the common sense not to build a bunker and let the enemy surround you. The Irish, what can I say? They led the rebellion. Reminds me of that other Irishman, Ned Kelly. Now, if you haven't heard the story of Ned Kelly, it's a good one. I think I've told it. Man, that guy got dinged up with his suit of armour. Ned Kelly was the original Iron Man. Right? You Americans, you got your tombstone and whatever. Ha! We had Tony Stark. Built his own suit of iron and stood off for a good period a bunch of coppers. Part Irish, I would suspect, because he actually built something that worked. I think his suit of armour is still in the museum. You gotta love the Irish. Ingenuity and their hate of coppers. A thankless job being a policeman. And if you're a good policeman and you watch my videos, can I say cheers for getting up every day and doing a job? It's like in tech support, you never get to meet happy customers. Well, that's pretty true in your job. But every time I see you pulling over someone who's seriously screwed up, drunk and driving badly, or speeding and swerving and basically ticking off my day on the roads, can I say cheers when you pull them up? But, you know, don't sweat the small stuff. If you look at someone who's going to send them broken or is piddling and you can just warn them, go back to the good old days of coppering when you go, dude, do that again, your ass is grass. Put the fear in people. It's much better than just fining them. I know, your bosses make it hard. And their bosses make it impossible. And their bosses are usually politicians. And let's be honest, if you're doing your job properly, you'd probably start by locking them up. I mean, probity in the United States doesn't exist. leastwise in politics, even I know that you can inside trade as an American politician and get away with it. Enrich your family, have them all on boards and things for, you know, oil and gas in the Ukraine, but don't mention the fact that you're arming ex-white supremacists to get it to happen so that your contracts are valid. No, blame the Russians. Ignore, well, Wikipedia history. I don't know. Self-interest these days is probably going to wind up with us all evaporating, leaving pigments of ourselves on the pavement one day. Not a good way to go, and not the reason to have a democracy. The whole point of government and democracies was so that we could avoid stuff. We could have diplomats. And when diplomats didn't work, where you're dealing with people that can't be negotiated with, you're supposed to have a military to dispense them to the Almighty. The plan was to negotiate with their replacements. Because eventually all wars have to stop and you've got to negotiate. These are complex things. I'm thinking on complex things when I put up the Eureka flag. I promise not to think on complex things tomorrow. David, this is so beautiful. If you could eat it, I'd spoon it. It is really nice. You're right, it does smell fantastic. Shave feel from these shaving creams, fantastic. Neck, look at that. BBS, smooth as. Look, while there's still stock and you're deciding what to get yourself for Christmas, get one of the iKon razors. Just, in my opinion, get the cap and base. Get your own handle off Magarts. Now, Magarts also sell the cap and base, and you've probably got a selection of ones to choose. If you're looking for your first iKon, which is absolutely worth having, if you go for the 101, you get 2 razors in one. You know, you get an open comb side, and you get the bar. And this is just a fantastic shaver. It won't rust, it's aluminium. It's fantastic face feel when you're shaving, so smooth on your skin, and the finished result up there with the best of my razors. Which leads me to my last thought, which was yesterday's shave with the, the Wilkinson sword, which is here. This guy is going in my travel kit. I loved it. I was so BBS, and the growth this morning was so even and so soft. It just left my face feeling fantastic. I can't believe you can get that sort of, well, it's a feather, so what can I say? Sorry, it's a Wilkinson sword. It and the feather. You can buy both of them if you don't drop it, and you can't break it, it's plastic. If you go and get one of these and chuck it in your travel shaving kit for something light, if you're going overseas, fantastic. It and the feather. It's cheaper than the feather, and I'm really, well, I'd have to get back my feather from Dad, and apparently that may take a struggle. I love my badger when I'm done, and I suggested for Christmas what to do with your kids. Get your kids to make presents. For example, give them some paper and some clag and some colouring pens, and get them to paint up these, or paint paper and clag them on, and then spray them with some of that clear sealant and have pretty holders. This Christmas, what to do with your kids? Make presents. You know, by the time you buy all the bits and pieces, you'll spend a few dollars, but everybody can go and make something for someone else. That is the spirit of Christmas. Doing something or writing a letter to someone else. Share how your year went. Share a bit of wet shaving information. Share, I don't know, grab some small containers and put a big soap, share them up and send it round to people with a handwritten note saying Merry Christmas. Don't buy the prepaid cards. Sit at your kitchen table one afternoon on a weekend or evening and just doodle, right? Invent something personal. In this impersonal age of the ability to type messages and send them off in the Ethernet, people have forgotten that people actually like hearing from real people. So that's my tip today, and that is just to share the good food, good friends, good shaves, amen, And remember, it's nice to be important, but it's far more important to be nice. Thanks again to David for putting me onto this soap for this morning. My bowl still smells good. I'm Steve, your Daily Shaver. Good shaves and goodbye.